So we're up here on another roof for one of Nick's clients, and again, we wouldn't be on this roof if it wasn't for the relationships, taking care of people, doing things well that others don't, doing the small things that matter so fucking much in this industry, and to the point where, you know, we're looking at views where this is a complete honor to have the opportunity to take a look at this system. Beyond targeted repairs, they're having soft spots throughout. They're having leakage here. We're going to have to get in other trades, obviously. This is full scope, plumbing, HVAC, electrical. We've got commercial, residential, semi-high-rise as well. It's a mid-rise, about 5 stories, and there's a lot of safety, noise consideration details that go into this. We've got metal transitions to the membrane. We've got parapet cap metal buildups. We got to worry about the HVAC detail. We're going to defer to the GC to make sure that they have that buttoned up. If not, we can get our vendors involved. But I mean, legacy relationships are always going to be a little cheaper for whatever reason. Here we've got some, maybe this was a repair in the past. That should be seamed down nicely and sealed. Built-in taper most likely, but we're going to be moving up to an R30 system for whatever reason, and take our core samples to make sure that everything's buttoned down properly. But we're going to have to do full porch tear-off detail as well. Some of these other buildings here that are steep slope with low slope transitions, I think they're omitted for the most part, but we're only looking at the low slope sections. Just previous workmanship related details on the entire thing prompted the ownership on the properties to have these conversations around the longevity and the well-being of the buildings. As far as I know, I think the siding details and the paint's fine, all buttoned up there. For what they're worried about, though, it's something a little more. So they've got these patches on their cap metal. It's a huge red flag as to why maybe they eliminated seams. So some of these have seams, some of them don't. Okay, so then clear some very, very soft spots underneath that. Lack of maintenance throughout. Active leaks aren't necessarily the issue on here. It's just being preventative and forecasting for budgeting the entire replacement. And so making sure that everything's on board for what to expect. Get the drone up in the air, take a look at everything from above, get multiple different reports, make sure the numbers are buttoned down, put our best foot forward, make sure the route's certified, get our best crews involved, and make sure that we're flowing. The relationships involved here are so valuable. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You got OHSU up top, you got all of downtown Portland there. You got sexy Nick. Oh, Nick. He's not feeling too hot. He's got something's going on with his back, so he's like, I gotta call it after this. I'm like, dude, yeah, take care of what you gotta take care of, and that's how we flow here. So some days we're on, some days we're off, but you got OMSI with the submarine. Don't die on me, bro. Goddamn. Son of a gun. This is gonna be about as spectacular of an install as we get, and Nick got his once-in-a-lifetime project, it sounds like. And this project also coming from a GC that's spec'd us out another property for targeted repairs for another multifamily situation that we're having to look at. This is interesting now. Why we got metal flaking off of a snap block that's probably less than 40 years old is a concern. They might have went with a cheaper panel. I think I can walk on this. It ain't oil canning, which is cool, but okay, look, so they've had repairs. We got the striation on one side and the flat pan on the other. That's interesting. Got the 12-inch and the 16-inch there, different panel types. So targeted repairs in the past. You've got power washers on your membrane roof doing what they can. I guess not in some areas, but in some others. It's the commercial side. And look at this. Look at the maintenance there. You guys just leaving a wide open opportunity for flow to come through. we call it the flow tsunami, and we're surfing this wave all the way in, and we're surfing it all the way up eventually to the STL, to the left, to the right. This cap metal though is no joke. Look at that wrap. I don't know if there's a cleat involved on that. Ooh, there ain't no cleat involved. Okay, so oh wait, yeah, they got the outside cleat. All right. When it comes to the front facade though, getting all those tied in, they've got blueprints on the building, so we'll take a look at what they have going on there for those details. It's odd why they're getting damage here. Portland, we don't get hail enough. Like, this could almost be maintenance related, like historic damage. What I mean is that, like, vendors, as they're coming to service this roof, look at this ridge cap's pulling out too. Oh no. Might be a bee's nest. Oh fuck. Well, it's definitely not clipped in. I mean, I can shove my fucking hand down through there. There should be some Snap Z up in there, which is going to be your filtered ridge vent detail. Looks like this one's got a little bit different setup. We'll take a look here. Other detail on metal for weather tight, your NDL equivalent of your membrane warranties. Your membrane warranty, no dollar limit, means for 20 or 30 years, based on the mill thicknesses of the system, you're going to have a warranty that's implied from the thickness of and the qualifications of the installer. And now, more so the thickness, less the qualifications, but the weather tight details on the warranties, generally for Newcon at least. What kind of filter? Yeah. The weather tight details on these here, maybe this predates the weather tight aspect, but you always want to have a hooked panel. And so look at this here, wide open. You can see the white stains underneath. That's capillary action taking water back and under. Now it does have probably some good sized, decent, look at the water bubbling out of the RT there. Or some sort of exhaust fan. Let's see if I can't get up there, maybe. But so weather tight details. Butyl tape up the ass, counter flashing everywhere. Hooked panels, right? So regardless of your drip metal, if this is a fabricated piece, what type of fabrication company can't go ahead and put a bullnose drip to hook those panels? That's going to give you a way more secure roof. They say weather tight, and those warranties apply to flat metal roofs with regards to like up down to zero slope. You can get the same warranty as a membrane roof if you got to have the architects, for whatever reason. I'm starting to dislike some of these architects. I know you guys build beautiful buildings, but we're running into an architect for this new development that I'm shooting for hardcore, harder than any other new construction I've ever done. I don't like new construction, but this one project I'm super keen on because it would be job security for the team through winters 2026 and 2027. And we're talking 2 project managers, 4 crews, just making sure that everyone is sat and settled for the next couple of years to come, regardless of the economy, because it's such a big development. And again, though, that comes down to a relationship. It's private wage, not prevailing wage, which means it's not going to necessarily be a race to the bottom. It's going to be about value, about workmanship, about the relationship itself. But this project here, we're going to head over to the next couple buildings and keep it going, keep it flowing. There's no joke that we're going to have to get manufacturers involved so they can help us with the overall scope. And we like to get them involved on bigger projects for another reason, which is at scale, you can start to ask for a little meat off the bone. You can say, hey, look, like, we've got yourself a couple hundred squares here where this is not your standard single family home, like how can you help ensure that the parties involved are going to get the best value possible? And that's when they step up the bat. We love those relationships because they help extend the value that we can provide to the clients and everyone else. So small drop in the bucket, but still an amazing project for Nick. And this one will probably take a couple weeks to put out the bid on, but you know, the relationship, like how we do things, is low and slow, built on trust. And we don't like to go back on numbers at all. That's the worst thing you could ever do, and say, oh yeah, I missed 500 pipe boots. Those things add up quick. You know, oh, I missed the drains. Oh, I missed the taper. I missed the ISO. I forgot. You don't miss in roofing. Those guys that miss out. I've missed before. It hurts. And when you're chasing your dreams, and when you don't want anything to get in your way, when you see nothing but blue sky, blue ocean, horizon, and opportunity in the future, you want to triple cross your T's and triple dot your I's. And I'll tell you guys a story. In the past on a project, I was off by 100 squares. You know what's crazy is we still got the project and we didn't lose money, and the relationship is still flowing smooth, but I felt like such a failure because I couldn't take the triple check, the triple cross the T, triple dot the I. I didn't take that last step to check one last time, and that hurt so fucking bad, to the point where, you know, when you're thinking about, oh shit, I'm off by 100 squares, you're thinking about the future, you're thinking about the past 6-7 years of work, you're like, what the fuck? And it'll make you work that much harder. And when failure is not an option, you know, when you have big enough dreams to try to fit everyone else's inside, you're thinking about always the worst case scenario. It's like turbulence in an airplane. You know, you get a little wobble, everyone's like, oh shit, we're going down. You know, you want things to flow smooth, you want things to flow so that way they can flow fast. And so I'm gonna get Nick off the roof. He's not feeling too hot, and we'll hop off to the next one, and we'll keep it all flowing. Maybe we'll stitch the videos together if Canva will let me do that, and we'll make a super inspection video, and combine this with the last one. I don't know, but it's going to be a beautiful spring weekend here. I think I was trying to go down to the Tulip Festival, but we're going to go ahead, and I think I need to get a new wetsuit. I've got like 4 holes in my current wetsuit, and I want to jump in and get some waves. It's been a couple months now. I've been itching. It's supposed to be 6 or 7 foot, I think, Sunday, and with no rain in the horizon. Anyway, we gotta get Nick off the roof. Catch you on the next one, guys. Taking a look at some of the details here on the back side. Again, ventilation detail to the top. Top course, please. Top course, please. Top course, please. And then there are other detail that they've completely glossed over. And some of these roofs are brand spanking new on the asphalt side. They were literally done less than a couple years ago, according to the management, and they've completely glossed over any of the intake. Zero intake on any of these steep slope sections for the entire complex. We're talking 6 other buildings. Okay, look at these guys. Zero intake. The gutters are right on the fucking siding. Right, and they're relying on gable vents and a minimal amount of boxes. So, you know, we get the pleasure, the honor, the distinct privilege to point out lack of preventative maintenance on the pitch pockets, the box vent detail, the lack of intake. And so, here's the thing: we're damn near forced, as a requirement of the trade, if we are to be considered worthy enough to protect these assets from the top down and the inside out, that if we don't report every single detail wrong with the approach of the original install and the new install of the steep slope, then we're held responsible. Then the finger gets pointed at us as why we didn't find that issue. And furthermore, it leaves the door open, and I can't stand this. I tell my inspectors, what are we going to do? We're going to let another firm come through and discredit flow roofing by missing a key detail, even a single nail. It takes one nail to lose all trust on a project. This project has hundreds of thousands of nails on it, right? Hundreds of thousands of fasteners. It takes one nail to lose all trust. And so our due diligence in the inspection period is so epically critical to making sure that details don't go swept under the rug, that we bring all the problems to the surface. Why we have California weave, but we have metal California valleys, right? Weave, valley, that should be a valley, metal valley. Come on now. I think what it comes down to, dare I say, Jocko Willings already knows this, comes down to leadership. How good is the project management to uphold the standards required by everyone involved to make sure that you're not leaving your panels scratched, right? That you get your weather-tight details buttoned down and documented, that your cap metal's buttoned down, documented, that your steep slope's good to go. You're taking pictures on site. You got eyeballs on each one of these. The problem now is you can't dig into this entire complex at the same time. So for how we flow, we're talking labor allocations to making sure that we're not looking silly by losing pace, by not having proper oversight, by not documenting and quality controlling the install, right? We know there's going to be different individuals on this project than we're used to working with. And what I mean by that is I'm going to ask my crew leads to bring on extra family members to make sure that for cleanup, for safety considerations, setup, disposal, the small things, that it's all hands on deck. And that way I know that with my install leads that we're going to have a smooth flowing project and that the finished work is taken care of by the guys with the decades of experience, and that the extra help, unfortunately I have to call them help because they're helping, right, is going to be allocated to making sure that the safety is good to go, that the tenants are all sat and settled, the cleanup is spotless, and then we put a couple project managers on it to make sure that everything's buttoned down. So, that being said, newer roof on the gray, older roof on the white, most likely just a 60 mil TPO membrane. I'm not seeing any manufacturer stamps anywhere. There may be switching to pavers on the one porch because they want to increase functionality. But these pitch pans over here in a way better shape versus these guys. And a preventative maintenance plan would have found that detail way further in advance instead of letting it turn into an issue. And now we got to get all the trades involved again, right? So, can't remember what we talked about in the other video, but we're going to go ahead and get the drone up in the sky, get our reports lined up. This type of project probably take a good 2 weeks to build out everything. Fine tooth comb, just sweeping through, making sure that we take into account that these buildings back here, they ain't got no driveway. How are you going to bring all this material out to the street, to the dumpsters? What's the logistics plan for staging so that the occupants inside can have a smooth project as well? How are we going to deal with the spacing of the trades, making sure that they're not getting in our way, right? What are we doing this during the summer? Are they going to lose their AC? What does that look like? Was there relocation detail? All these different considerations play such into a vital factor of a smooth flowing project of this size. And ultimately it breaks down to just a couple hundred squares per building, which is way more manageable than trying to deal with everything. But if they're pushing for legal to get more out of the thing for a timeline that fits the 2025 schedule, we're going to have real conversations around capacity, because we're not going to drop the ball. We're going to make sure that we slam this out of the park one step at a time. Low and slow is how we flow. I want to make sure my project managers are not just confident, but ready, like they want it, right? So I'll be over there at OMSI at some point taking pictures of the project over here. I'm just going to put it out there. They say manifest. I say the energy that you put in for this universe has got some sort of amazing entropy. There's something that creates resonance for the amount of energy that you put out